and good morning, St. Lucia, and welcome to This Morning Waking Up in the Know with me, Jenna and Gastor. It's always a pleasure to be here with you so early in the morning. I'm your morning fix, and I just want to say, hello to the husband and wife who referred to me over the weekend as Miss Kitty. Yes, they said my voice sounds like a little cat. I'll take that as a compliment because I think I have a nice little cat voice. It is Tuesday, May 24th, and yes, the politics is around the corner. I am not wearing a red shirt. This is fuchsia pink, okay? So let's not get it twisted. I'm not wearing any red, and I'm not wearing any yellow nor green for the next couple of days. We're gonna jump right into the news headlines of last night. I'm sure there are political stories somewhere in there. Local rights group United and Strong has taken issue with recent statements attributed to Choiseul MP Lon Theophilus about the UWP's political leader Alan Chastanet. In the video, Mr. Chastanet is referred to as can I say the proper word? As a faggot. That's what they're calling him. Chastanet is referred to as a faggot. There are concerns that the statement could help fuel negative attitudes towards homosexuals. United and Strong is now challenging politicians to make their stance on gay issues part of the election campaign. Sarah Peter has that story.
A video posted on social media purportedly showing Choiseul MP and Tourism Minister Lon Theophilus using a derogatory homosexual term to refer UWP political leader Alan Chastanet has outraged some members of the LGBTI community. The statement has not gone down well with human rights advocacy group United and Strong. The organization has called on politicians to openly state their position on discrimination against the LGBTI community.
We're daring the politicians, both opposition and government, that if you're truly concerned about the stigma associated with LGBT persons, if you're truly concerned about the discrimination that LGBT persons are exposed to, first of all, one of the first things you do is to openly and publicly support the work that United and Strong is doing and LGBT persons in St. Lucia. That's the first thing that you must do if you truly embrace the belief that persons who have different sexual orientations are St. Lucians themselves and deserve the right to be treated like St. Lucians.
Charles further noted that such a public statement will send a strong message to the rest of the public and dissuade them from discriminating against the LGBTI community. He further added the circulation of such videos represent attempts by politicians to distract the electorate from the true issues.
One of the things United and Strong is too familiar with, I think it's the use of terms that are stigmatizing and discriminatory. And I think we're too familiar with the impact it has on members of the LGBT community in itself. We are indeed saddened when you have our political figureheads who use terms that tend to, again, I say, serve more in terms of stigmatizing against an individual, or it may provoke discriminatory reactions from other persons. The interesting thing is that during this political season and all political season, or what we call the silly season, you find that politicians get caught up in name calling, politicians get caught up in the mapui, and it seems to be something that they believe that the St. Lucian public, the electorate, enjoy.
Mr. Theophilus could not be reached for comment. For the DBS News World, I am Sarah Peter.
And the United Workers' Party isn't the only group taking issue with the chosen date for the general election. The National Students' Council is concerned about how the election will affect CXC examinations taking place at locations which are doubling as examination halls and polling stations.
June 6, the date recently announced by Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony as the date for elections, has been met with concern by the National Students' Council. The organization says that CXC exams in food and nutrition, additional mathematics and CAPE exams are scheduled for that date. The council says the date has left many students along with parents curious about the extent to which the general elections may affect the conduct of the examinations.
The main concern of the National Students' Council is that according to the CX timetable, we have additional mathematics and food and nutrition on June 6, 2016, and that actually coincides with the dates either the excel and to further their education.
LeBon further noted that the council hopes that elections will not cause discomfort to students seeking to excel at this critical juncture in their lives.
How can you, as a government, how can you put such a busy time in terms of political activities and during a period where students are really looking to be looking to be focused on writing their examinations so that they can, excel in the best way.
The council is urging the government to provide the students of St. Lucia with adequate information ahead of the elections to avoid a state of confusion or any mishaps. For the GBS News World, I am Sarah Peter.
And some lighter news over the weekend. As a matter of fact, on Friday evening, the 8 lovely ladies received their sashes for the National Carnival Queen pageant. We were there and we're going to bring you some of the highlights of the night.
When I hear that beat, I got to move my feet. It hit me in every direction. There's a vibration when I listen to it. I love this music. I got it on repeat. It hit me like yeah. Now start rock, you can't stop. Dance to the rhythm, they go pull it back. Jump and get on up to the front and back. Go pull no back. You can't stop, I can't just rock. Dance to the rhythm, they go pull it back. A veinte, me pasa a peche. Manasani, my cow in the mountain, nothing like chape. That feeling so sweet. I can't resist the speed. That feeling so nice. When I hear that rhythm beating, I getting back this feeling. Even in the night when I sleeping, I just love this carnival season. It's sweeter than syrup, make you hit up like you with peanut. Shake up, wake up till your clothes wet up. Boy, you cannot sit, you must get up and start rock. You can't stop, dance to the rhythm, they don't pull up. Jump and get on up to the front and back. Don't pull no pop. You can't stop, I can't just rock. Dance to the rhythm, they don't pull up. A veinte, me pasa a peche. Manasani, my cow in the mountain, nothing like chape. That feeling so sweet. I can't resist the speed. That feeling so nice. I can't hold back this feeling. Whatever day or night or season, I can't resist this vibe, no. It putting me in a trance, got me revving up my hands and I'm singing.
Stay tuned, St. Lucia, because when we come back, I've got your daily horoscope up next. Welcome back, guys. It's now time for your daily horoscope. Aries, you may feel a bit of strain today as you try to figure out the best way to get to where you need to be. On one hand, the happy approach calls for you to let loose, be courageous, and strike out with conviction towards the things that mean the most to you. And on the other hand, a sense of duty holds you back. Taurus, your romantic side is powerfully charged today. The more you tune into this side of your nature, the happier you'll be. One thing to watch out for, however, is that you keep at least one foot on the ground at all times. Gemini, attend to your duties today. There's a pronounced sense of the passage of time and feeling that the days are slipping quickly by. Make sure you fit love and romance somewhere into the equation. Cancer, two different sides could be tugging at you. It may be neither one is really making a strong case for pulling you one way or the other. Realize the adjustments may have to be made in order for you to fit them in the scheme of things and fulfill your responsibilities. Leo, Tension may be a bit high in just about everyone and everything you encounter today. Some will feel a strong need of stability and discipline. Others may be calling for fun and carefree frivolity. Virgo, remember that you were put here to have fun and that happiness is your true destiny. Keep that in mind today, as forces may tend to pull you away from the fun you've been having. Libra, you of all people will appreciate the need for structure and stability on a day like this. This practical energy could be taking some of the fun out of the equation. You may not recognize it at first, but if you aren't careful, the fun in your life could be chipped away little by little. Scorpio, tension is apt to build to a high level if you aren't careful about how you use words. The tricky thing is that forces you are going to try to put you and pull you in different ways. You may encourage or focus on collective while others worry only about themselves. Sagittarius, take a look at what's going on around you. Do some internal processing before you reach a conclusion about the best way to proceed. You may find that powerful forces are trying to win you over to one camp or another. Capricorn, watch out for a little jolt in action as someone close to you puts on the brakes in your relationship. Capricorn conflicts could arise based on a need for more structure and stability. Aquarius, just when you thought you had everything planned out and working smoothly, love comes in and clogs up the works. Suddenly, your attention is diverted and your concentration flies out the window as that dazzling creature catches your eye. Pisces, your heart is going pity-pat and you're tempted to escape to a romantic fantasy land in which you play the starring role. The bad news is that something could be trying to hold you back. That has been your daily horoscope for today, Tuesday, May 24th, 2016. When we come back, I've got a lady who doesn't only make jewelry, it's more than jewelry. Special treat for you here this morning at the breakfast table, and joining me is Terrell Nicholas from Illuminating Designs, and that's fashion jewelry. Right. And what girl doesn't love her fashion jewelry? It's right after makeup, or for some people it's before makeup. Handbags, where do you place jewelry, Terrell?
Well, it's after I get dressed.
After you get dressed?
After I get dressed, and in most cases, if I get dressed and I don't have something to wear, I quickly make something. And
now, jewelry is a must-have. Let me thank you first for coming on the show. How are you feeling this morning?
Oh, I'm feeling good after the Wapping Jazz Festival. I feel absolutely great.
Right. Now, I've been following your progress from when you started out with your spoons.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your journey in a nutshell.
Well, making jewelry, it has been something that I absolutely loved over the years. Okay. You know, just doing it as a pastime, not necessarily as a business. Because I pursued other fields. So I was a massage therapist. I worked as a supervisor. I actually did carpentry and joinery at school. Oh. But then my main thing was that I wanted to become an architectural do architectural drawing and stuff like that. So that's what I pursued in school. But jewelry was something I always made on the side, and I took the kids' monies, not take their monies, but made a little something, and they paid for it, whether it's $5. You know,
all right. You hustle your friends out $5 to make some jewelry. Nothing wrong with that.
No. When I said take their money, I didn't want the wrong message to go out there. Yes. So, and well, over the years, I just did a little here, a little there. And then in 2013, which is when the spoon concept came about, I wanted something called a bezel. I wanted to be able to put people's photos in something for them, but we don't have bead shops on the island per se. Right. And I couldn't get access. I didn't have the buying power, you know, like to shop online as yet. And with me, I improvised. So if I wanted a bezel, couldn't find it on island, I found thing that looked like a bezel or could substitute for the bezel, and that's where the spoon came about.
Okay.
Now, after that, I Googled the product. I Googled spoon jewelry, and I found rings made out of spoons, you know,
Right,
stuff like that.
right.
And I saw flattened spoons with engraving done on it.
Okay.
But I had not seen something like what I do here
Right.
until I went on this thing called Pinterest, and then I saw 1 or 2 pieces, but it was still not like what I
Like
do.
yours,
You
not
know?
as intricate as
Yes,
yours.
yes. Because I always say to people, well, Pinterest is a handmade site, you know, so you have to love what you do and take your time and do what you do, you know. So
Right.
that's where the spoon necklace came about.
Wow.
And it's now creating a great buzz because I've done, you know, I do them as key rings. So I've done, you know, as many as 180 key rings in a weekend for a company or
Okay.
school, and you know, so it's still there because people are still placing orders. They want to put their photos in there. Who wants to put their child's baby teeth in there?
Oh,
You
wow.
know,
I
just
never thought
about
of that.
anything. Yeah, I didn't think about it until the lady said, you know what? I have my son's baby teeth, and I have 3 of them. So what I did, I created a bird's nest, and then I put the 3 little teeth in there. So it kind of looked like, you know,
Cute.
Yeah.
That's cute. There
So,
you have
yeah,
it.
so-
Be innovative. Now I'm here. Am I thinking about? I just kind of just blocked you out for a second and said, "What can I put on my daughter's head in a spoon?" I just literally just blocked you out there and
Yes,
went
yes.
straight home. Do I have her teeth? Do I have what? Do I have? I don't have any teeth
You don't.
as yet.
Well, you could put her photo in there, or you could put maybe her birth date and her name.
Right.
You know, like I did for one of those people. She wanted her daughter's name. Well, she did have her teeth, so she gave me the teeth. I put the teeth in there, her name and her date of birth. You know, so you may not have the teeth, but you could just put maybe her name, maybe her
Yeah.
initials. You know.
Yeah.
You know, so you put her initials and then probably her.
I know what I have. Umbilical cord.
No, bye. after I did the baby teeth, that was the next thing the lady said to me, and I said, "Listen, this is where I draw the line. No." And the guy wanted me. He wanted me
on.
to make a bracelet. She wanted me to make a bracelet, and I'm like, "Listen,
No, you can't
are
make a
those
bracelet,
things-
but you
no,
can put
because
it in
I'm
a
gonna set it in the same epoxy." Right, so it would be a bracelet and it's there. But what I'm saying, oh my God, no, I don't even want to
But
think
can't you
about
wear
it.
gloves?
It's not about wearing gloves. To me, growing up, I know my mom buried ours under a banana tree in the yard
Yeah.
somewhere. That's what it was. You know, that's what I know to be. But so, I don't know.
All right. Let's get back on track before I freaked her out this morning. Talking about I want my child's umbilical cord in a spoon. So you went with the spoons, and now you've gone full blown into making jewelry. Your copper pieces that I really love.
Look at me. All things copper. Copper is, I say to people, my metal of choice.
Right.
I deal with osteoarthritis of the spine. I have costochondritis because remember earlier I said I worked in the massage therapy
Right.
field, and from practicing massage therapy wrongly, I developed something called costochondritis. What is costochondritis? It's where the breastbone and ribcage rub and cause like an inflammation. So
Okay.
the gel in there between the bones wears off,
Right.
and then there's a lot of pain. So I had to give up doing massage therapy or live on ibuprofen. I gave up massage therapy. I wouldn't want to live on ibuprofen. And osteoarthritis of the spine. I had a fall years ago. And I say to people, I'm not 42, I am 18 with 24 years experience. So as you get younger,
Right.
things don't work the way they used to. So
Okay.
like February this year, I reached a point where I wasn't walking. I had to be rushed to physiotherapy. But what meant, well, how you say controls the pain for me is the copper. So you will not find me at any given time without copper on me. That's why my rings, my bracelet, my earrings, everything, all things copper, because it helps me to manage the pain. I still do therapy, don't get me wrong, but it helps to manage the pain because copper has therapeutic properties.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting that this morning either. You caught me off guard with that one.
And the copper I use, you know, people will say, oh, I've never seen that copper before. I'll tell you what, there's enameled copper, which is what I use, and then there's the raw copper that you would strip and get out of the
Right.
electrical wires. with the one you strip and get out of the electrical wire, when it comes out of that wire, out of the casing, it's nice, vibrant, orangey color. But then by the time the air gets it, it gets ugly, dingy, well, what you call it patinas.
Right.
And then when I started wearing those, I realized there was green on my skin. The green is an indicator that there's something happening in your body, right? And I did not like that at all, because I mean, I have a nice necklace on, and the next thing I know, people are saying, but what's that green thing on your neck? You know, it doesn't
Yeah.
look nice. So that's why I came across the enameled copper.
Enameled
And
copper.
the copper I use, it's enameled and it's magnetic as
Okay.
well. So it has like double properties, you know, and there's no green on your skin. It does not patina. And here what? No allergic reaction.
Wow. I know we have to go to a commercial break. I'm learning so much more, like I said, that I certainly wasn't expecting. This apparently now is not just jewelry, it's therapeutic jewelry.
That's right.
In essence, I'm so happy that you've actually joined me now, that we can talk a little more and you know, take this into a little in depth. When we come back, there's so much more we're going to learn. So let's just head out for a commercial break. And welcome back, guys, and I've been having a very interesting conversation here with Ma Illuminating Designs,
I like that.
if you'd like
I
to
like
call
that.
her.
Illuminating
Ma
design.
Illuminating, and she's about to illuminate not only our apparel, but from what I'm learning, that, you know, her copper pieces are very therapeutic from your own personal experiences
Yes.
that you've had. So I have seen you, you know, link up with, I believe it's Ministry of
Commerce.
You showcased at the
Taiwanese
Taiwanese Expo. How has that really helped you in an essence of growing your business from becoming just a jewelry maker to actually having a business where you sell your pieces?
Well, like I said, it was more of a hobby. I did that as a hobby. But 9 years ago, when I lost my job, and I like to make the illustration of sink or swim. You say you want to learn to swim, you know, so you dropped in the ocean and you
Right.
either sink or swim. Now, having my business is something I always wanted to do. But the fear that comes with not working for someone, you know, and then having to work for yourself. So you have your bills, you have your, you know, you have all of those things to do. And I was like, but every day I remember saying, well, I really want to have my own business. I really want to have my own business. And then I lost my job, you know, so I was like, okay, do it. So I went over to one of the hotels on island, and I went to the general manager and I said, listen, do you have anything in the office? I was still trying to run away from doing it.
Right.
And he said, no, we have nothing. I said, okay, what about me being a vendor on property? And he said, go to the entertainment manager. And that's where it started 9 years ago. So what I did, I registered my business, got the name in a dream. And a lot of people, when they go to read my name, they go Illuminati, and I'm like, no, stop. I said Illuminating Designs. I
Right.
said, if you look up the meaning of to illuminate, it means to bring light.
Right.
When someone comes across a piece of mine and they go like, wow, you did that? That is the light factor. You know, so I say to them, don't get it twisted and try to put me
Okay,
with this.
right.
You know, let's get it right. You know, so, I mean, now I can safely say that if I had to do it over, like that,
All over again.
I would do it.
Same experience.
Same.
You wouldn't change
same
anything.
way. I wouldn't change a thing. You know, it's a good learning process. But then, even with the Taiwanese Expo, that was my first time at the Taiwanese Expo. These things would pass over my head every year, year after year. Jeune Creole would come, it would go, and I would be like, hey, but Jeune Creole, I could have made
Yeah,
X. You know,
yeah.
if you notice now, I have the madras in the spoon.
Yes.
Then independence would come, same thing, you know, and the Taiwanese Expo came year after year, and it's like it passed me by. And I was at an OAS training, and then the facilitator said, how many of you taking part in the Taiwanese Expo? And I'm like, what's that? You know, I've heard about it. So I went for it, and I was thoroughly satisfied. with having taken part in the Taiwanese Expo, because I got to do some links with the Taiwanese. You know, there was this one lady from Taiwan there, and she kept bringing her gemstones for me to wrap for her in the copper.
Right.
And you know, she was so concerned about her gemstones, you know, because
Right.
what copper does, it strengthens the power of any stone. So, you know, like with Tiger Eye, which is a gemstone that gives you insight, brings luck to the wearer, it's a stone for the mind, and it's also a stone of protection. What that would do, the copper would do, is just strengthen the power of that stone, you know. So she brought me her jade, which is very sentimental to them, because jade
Okay.
is a love stone, it's also a
Yes.
protection stone. So she brought me her jades, and you know, she wanted me to wrap it, and she was like, you know, asking me if it was going to break the stone, and you know, I said no, I'll be, you know, it'll be fine.
You be
know?
careful.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been doing that for, well, more than 9 years, but my wire wrapping skills has increased and gotten better over the years.
This
you know?
one is
Yeah.
just, it's so clean. The finish
the
is so
coil.
clean and so
And I can
perfect.
tell you, before I actually got the tool to do that, what did I do? I got a piece of PVC pipe that I drilled a hole from one point to the next. I took a piece of wire hanger I created, and then I would put it in there and then just sit and coil. Because to do that would be very tedious, to sit and actually do coil by coil.
I'm
So
in love with this piece, which
improvise.
is why I haven't been able to put it down throughout the whole show. I actually wanted to wear it because I am wearing one of her pieces. Another one that I love is this one was better. It, you know, it had a better contrast on my outfit here this morning. But this one, the coil, I love your coils. I am so in love with your coils. It's
Yeah.
very modern. It's very trendy.
Right.
You know, and I'm sure you cater for all styles, all types
All
of people.
styles, I do. And I know on the table there's nothing for a man, but yes, I do men's jewelry, you know,
Okay.
so
Father's
but-
Day is coming
but
up.
what I do it to their specification. So if that's what you want, then I give you what you want. And it's
Right.
not just a matter of just making stuff, because I don't believe in having stuff stay on my hands, you know, just, you know, I mean, I have people like Michael Robinson who wears my jewelry, Ezra the Fun Machine, you
Right,
know, up
right,
to just
right.
what day was that. He came home and he wanted me to do the treble clef for him in the copper.
Okay.
And he stood there while I worked on the
Yeah,
piece, you
this
know.
is a musician piece here,
Yes,
for
so
sure.
yeah, so I did that for him, but I did it in the copper because, you know, I mean, he liked the copper, you know, aspect of it. And he stayed there and he waited for me to, you know, complete the piece, you know, so.
So tell us a little bit, because I know we're running out of time. We never have enough time here in the morning. Tell us a little bit of how we can get in contact with you. Where can we get you? Where can we get your pieces?
Okay, for now, the pieces you could find at the yard in Masad Grozile.
Okay.
That's in the yard of the Star. You could get some of my pieces at Black Amigo in Baywalk Mall. That's
Okay.
the perfume guy. You could get, well, some spoons you may see at Sea Island Cotton. As well, you could get it from myself. My cell phone number is 715-2855 for DG users and 287-3717 for Flow users.
Right.
As well, I could be found on Facebook at, well, Terrell Nicholas. You just type in Terrell Nicholas and you'll find me on Facebook. On Instagram is at creation_awaits. And that's who I got, you know, I was sitting there and it's like, creation awaits.
Yes.
Like the thing is waiting to be created. So yes,
At creation
creation
underscore.
awaits on Instagram, Terrell Nicholas on Facebook, and cell phone number 715-2855 and 287-3717.
Now, do you have enough stock? Because Jazz just finished, so I know you must have had a good...
I had a great jazz season, but here what, look at it that way. I make 60 rings in an hour.
60 rings an hour, as in
Yes.
what you have on?
Yes,
I'm going to have to put you up to a challenge.
you best believe that.
I will have to challenge you to make me 60 rings in 1 hour.
I mean, Sea Island Cotton called me one time for an order of 60 rings. And she said, can you bring us 60 rings? And I said, no problem. And then she called me back and she was apologizing on the phone. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I just realized I asked you to make 60 rings. And I said, girl, it's done. She said, you're not serious. You have to see me work. I work in sequence, you know, like I have it down to a science.
Right.
So I say to people, once I know what I'm working with, you will find me, there's a rhythm to what
Yeah.
I do. So, you know, I go about and, you know, there's another set that I do 24 pieces in an hour, you know, and that includes necklace, bracelet, and earrings, you know, because I work like a machine. I work alone, but I work like a machine. So
you don't need any staff because you're a
Well,
one-man show.
the thing about it is I would love to have staff. I would love to be able to teach the craft.
Right.
But I like things done excellently well.
You're a perfectionist, so you don't want anybody
That's right.
touching your
So
things.
when they do it, I still have to pass and do it again. So you know what? I might as well do it on my
Might as
own.
well do it on your own. You
Yeah.
sound like a true mother, you know, a mother. When you want something done, you might as well
That's right,
do it
that's right.
yourself because you can never get it done the way you want it. But that just brought me back.
So my daughter, people ask me a lot, you know, does your daughter make jewelry? And I'm like, nope. No.
Only you.
Yeah.
Well, Tara, let me tell you, thank you so much for coming here
Thanks so
this
much for having
morning.
me.
It's indeed a pleasure. I'm going to try to steal this one.
No, you
as
don't have
the
to steal it. You
camera
know what?
comes
I
up.
give you this one. Everywhere I go, I mean, I always try to make sure that I give something, you know, because I know when you wear it, someone will see it and they'll be like, oh, I like
Most
your piece.
definitely.
And, you know, and that one is like a basket weave.
Right.
And I did everything by hand.
By
You know,
hand.
so it's done
so
with love.
pretty. It's so pretty.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's
so
done with
much
love.
for coming here this morning. And Tanisha, thank you so much for joining us. And we will put up her contacts so that you can get in touch with her. You can purchase this not only fashionable but healing jewelry, as I have discovered here this morning. I'm definitely going to try it out myself, see if it alleviates some of my aches and pains. And yes, I have aches and pains. And so I will see you back here tomorrow, same place, same time. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Bye.